Hello students, let's learn Lesson 3 Glimpses of the Past from Honeydew Class 8 English, written by S.D. Sawant. This lesson gives us a short description of 9 main events in a pictorial form that took place in our country from 1757 to 1857. It provides a glimpse of how the British East India Company expanded its power in India and exploited Indians. Now, let us know about the author, S.D. Sawant. He is popularly known as Shivaji Sawant, was born on 31st August 1940 in Kolhapur district, Maharashtra, India. He was a writer, teacher, and an editor. He wrote a book called Mrityunjaya. In English, it is called as Victory Over Death. This book was translated into different languages like Hindi, English, Kannada, Gujarati, Malayalam, and he received numerous awards. He held the post of the Vice President of Maharashtra Sahitya Parishad since 1995. He was the president of Baroda Sahitya Sammelan in 1983. He died on 18 September 2002 in Goa at the age of 62. Now, the 9 events which we are seeing here on the slide, these 9 events are described in the lesson Glimpses of the Past. Now, the 9 events are: the first one, martyrs; second one, the company's conquest; third one, British rule; fourth one, Ram Mohan Roy; fifth one, oppression; sixth one, dissatisfaction; seventh one, the sparks; eighth one, revolt; ninth one, the fight for freedom. So in part 1 we'll see first 5. Right, children? Now here you see the first slide. The martyrs. Martyrs means those who sacrifice their life for the country. At a function in Delhi. Oh, my countrymen, let your eyes fill with tears as you recall with sacrifices of India's martyrs. So here you can see Queen of Melody, voice of the nation, Lata Mangeshkar, singing a patriotic song, and other leaders at the function are Jawaharlal Nehru, Lal Bahadur Shastri, and Indira Gandhi. They are remembering the leaders or the people who laid their life for the nation. Now, here at a function in Delhi, Lata Mangeshkar, she sang a patriotic song, "E Mere Watan Ke Logon." She called upon the Indians to recall with tearful eyes the sacrifices of Indian freedom fighters. The martyrs are remembered every now and then. Now the second event, the company's conquest. So conquest means victory. From the year 1757 to 1849. With its superior weapons, the British East India Company was extending its power in 18th century India. So here you can see the India map or the map of our country in the year 1765. Now the area covered with yellow, it is under Indian princes, and pink one, children, it comes under British territory. Indian princes were short-sighted. Short-sighted means lacking in foresight. That upstart, Raja Ba, called the English merchants. They will help me to defeat him. So here, upstart refers to arrogant. Constant is regular. So here, in India, in the year 1757, the East India Company was in a strong position compared to the Indian princes. They had superior weapons. Besides, Indian princes were short-sighted in their approach to the events of the time. And Indian princes were fighting each other. So they had a fight among themselves. They often fought with the help of the company to defeat other princes. Now the next one. The rivalries helped the East India Company and it could easily subdue Indian princes one by one. So rivalries means fights. Subdue is oppress. A far-seeing ruler like the brave Tipu of Mysore fought the British till he died fighting. So here far-seeing refers to far-sighted. Here, this work or this worked in favor of the East India Company. That is, what is that in favor of East India Company? The princes were fighting among themselves, and that was a favorable or that was favorable for the East Indian companies, right? It could easily subdue their princes one after the other. However, the brave Tipu Sultan of Mysore fought the British and he died in the battlefield fighting the English. How did Indians react to these conquests? Conquest means victors. Thank God, there is peace in the country now. No more wars and no looting by thugs. Thugs means cheat. It is God who sent the Britishers. Our destiny is linked with them. So destiny is fate. Linked is connected. The white man has killed or dethroned our kings. Dethroned is removed from power. Some kings were not good, but after all, they were of this land. Now we have become slaves of foreigners. The Indians, however, had varied opinions about the Britishers, and their reactions are different. The first set of people here, you see what they are talking. So here the first set of people were very happy with the Britishers and were also grateful because they thought peace could finally prevail. They thought that their destiny was linked up with them. But on the other hand, people saw what was actually happening. They knew that even if some of the princes were cruel, they were at least of their land. So that is, they were at least of their means they belonged to their land, that is their country. They had realized that they were now slaves of the Englishmen. Now the third event, British rule from the year 1765 to 1836. Religious leaders preached ideas like untouchability and child marriage. Anyone who crosses the sea loses his religion. So here preached means lectured. All the misery in the world is due to women. Misery means grief or the sadness. So India at this point was steeped into religious, orthodox and superstitions, and practices like untouchability, child marriage, and low status of low status was given to women were just a few to mention here. The truth was that Indians had lost self-respect. The British scorned them. Scorn means hatred. The natives are unworthy of trust, incapable of honesty. Unworthy means incapable, right? They are not, they doesn't deserve it. Okay. True, your honor, but I am honest. So here, the Indian says that it is true, and he says that they are honest. Being merchant, the British wanted quick profits. Their heavy taxes forced farmers to abandon their fields. But you men are taking all my crop. You are still arrears. If you don't pay next week, I will send you to jail. Britishers scorned the Indians for these evil practices as well as for their dishonesty. The farmers and the artisans were the worst who were hit by the Britishers, and heavy taxes have been collected by them. So the Britishers are collecting heavy taxes, and all this ruined the farmers. Still, the British invented other methods which gave them more profits. The goods manufactured in England should not have any import duty when brought into India. A good idea. The East India Company's laws began to cripple Indian industries. Cripple means make invalid. Inevitably, inevitably means as a consequence. Inevitably, famines followed. Between 1822 and 1836, 15 lakh Indians died of starvation. Starvation is hunger. The British policies ruined the experts, artisans, and their business. So here, artisans means craftsperson. The import from England became tax free when it comes to India. The England produce was sold at high prices, whereas the Indian produce was taken away at very much less price. So this led to the increase in poverty and misery of farmers. And such policies of the British East India Company destroyed the Indian industries, and small businessmen and individual artisans were ruined completely. And all this resulted in famines, and approximately 15 lakh Indians starved to death because everything has been taken from them, and all their business or all their whatever the farming activities are there, whatever the produce which they have, everything has been taken away for very much less price, right? Before we read about Raja Ram Mohan Rai, let us watch a clipping about him. Ram Mohan Roy, 1772 to 1833. Ram Mohan Roy, a learned man from Bengal, understood what was wrong with the country. Let us not despise ourselves. Our ancient culture is great, and we are capable of greater achievements. We must first reform our society. Superstitions have been ruining us. So here despise means hate. Superstitions are the blind faiths which people have. Ruining is destroying. He told his wife Uma, cows are of different colors, but the color of their milk is the same. Different teachers have different opinions, but the essence of every religion is the same. Essence means gist. So, Raja Ram Mohan Rai was a well educated man from Bengal. He was one of the men to realize that there was something wrong with our country. He was of the belief that Indians must not consider themselves inferior or look down upon themselves very inferior. He believed that our ancient culture was great and the people were destined for greater achievements. According to him, the first step was to change the society by abandoning the prevailing superstitions. It was the root cause of all the problems. He was attracted by science and modern knowledge. Knowledge should be practical and scientific. He started newspapers, but the suspicious British stopped them in 1823. Suspicious means doubtful. So here he took very keen interest in science and modern knowledge. According to him, knowledge should be practical and scientific. He even published newspapers which the British stopped out of suspicious in the year 1823. He crossed the seas and went to England to see what made the British powerful. There he told them, we accept you as rulers, as you must accept us as subjects. Subjects means the masses under a king. But you must remember the responsibility a ruler owes to his subject. So he wanted to know about this and he went to Britain. Okay, so British was so powerful. So he crossed the seas and traveled to England. There he said to them that, there he said to all the Britishers that we Indians accept you as rulers. And he reminded the British people that rulers what duty they have to do it. Okay, rulers have to, they have a duty to do it towards their subjects. So here subjects means towards their people. and and also he told them that they should not forget their responsibility. Now the fifth event is the oppression. So that is in the year 1765 to 1835. Oppression means it is what is this oppression? It is a suppression. Okay, so here, but the British continued to oppress Indians. In 1818 they had passed regulation. So regulation is a law. Regulation 3. Under it, an Indian could be jailed without trial in a court. Trial means a case. So here oppression is the suppression, right? And with trial is a case in court. All the time British officers in India drew big salaries and also made fortunes in private business. So made fortunes means earned much wealth. The Britishers continued to find new ways to bring miseries and sufferings to Indians. For instance, they passed a law, a regulation that is 3, under which an Indian could be jailed without a proper trial in court. And Britishers suppressed Indians. They created all sorts of favorable circumstances in order to uplift their officers, that is the British officers. The British officers, they drew huge amounts of salaries, and what they did, they filled their pockets by making the fortune out of their private business. By 1829, Britain was exporting British goods worth 7 crores rupees to India. The British prospered on the company's loot while Indian industries began to die. So these Britishers were exporting goods in huge quantities from Britain. So by 1829, they were importing goods worth 7 crore rupees to India. As a result, the Britishers grew richer and richer, leaving the Indian industries to die. Right? Then, Governor General Bentinck reported back home, the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India. So here bleaching refers to discoloring. Governor General Bentinck had conveyed to Britain that the bones of cotton weavers are bleaching the plains of India to highlight the misery of this. So this means that he has highlighted the misery of the traditional cotton weavers in India. So this means that the cotton weavers were forced to starve because of the cotton mills set up by the Britishers. You know, the cotton mills which were set up by the Britishers, they produced much cheaper cloth with the help of machines, and that led to the traditional Indian handicrafts to extinct. So when they have produced cheaper cloth, and this traditional Indian handicrafts, that particular cloth, all that has been extinct. So thus, what this British people have done, this British, they have prospered on the ruins of the Indian industry. Is this clear, children? So now here we end the part 1, and in my next video I'll take up part 2, in which we will come to know other events from 1835 to 1857. Is it clear, children? Hope you all have understood. Thank you.